All right, guys, we are live here. How's it going? Zach Ginn here. Excited right now to teach you something that a lot of wholesalers don't talk about, and that is fire damaged properties. Not many people talk about them, mostly because they don't know how to do them or they haven't done them before, and they just don't have the expertise on fire damaged properties. So in this video, I'm literally just going to give you a step-by-step breakdown on how to wholesale fire damaged properties. So this is going to be a really important video. So please get your notepads out, get everything ready, and we can go again. You can always comment whatever you want live. This is live right now, and I'd love to answer your questions. So let's get started. Wholesaling fire damaged properties. So what is a fire damaged property? Again, a fire damaged property, it's pretty self-explanatory, really. It's just a building that's residential or commercial. You can't wholesale commercial fire damaged properties that has caught on fire due to maybe a kitchen fire, maybe the dryer went crazy, or the toaster, and it was damaged due to a fire. Sometimes fire damaged properties are completely just destroyed, and sometimes they're not. So here are the types of fire damaged properties. So usually the top most common areas that a fire damage starts in a piece of real estate, residential wise, is either the kitchen or the bathroom. The kitchen, usually, where the stove is, a grease fire, things like that. And then in the bathroom with hair dryers and things like that. So that's where most fires start in a property. So that's usually where most of the problems are in a partially burnt down piece of real estate. So there's really that type of ones, like very tiny, maybe just the bathroom got destroyed, a really tiny one. And that was the only issue with the fire damage property. That's another one we can wholesale. We can also do basically half burnt house. I guess it's a term I've kind of coined, but those are properties where about the kitchen burned and then maybe the living room, but the other half of the property is fine, and that's got a little more value. They're basically half burnt. The whole thing didn't catch on fire, get destroyed. And then, unfortunately, this is probably one of the saddest ones, is a complete teardown. These are just properties that just completely get engulfed in flames. The whole thing gets burnt to the ground. There's just black ash everywhere. And that is a lot of fire damaged properties. And most people, most wholesalers and most sellers just walk away from something like that. They don't think they can get any money. The insurance already paid them, and there's nothing really to do. So most wholesalers think, hey, I can't wholesale that. It's actually cost money for buyers to do. So what's the point? So I'm going to teach you how to destroy it in these saturated markets here with wholesaling fire damaged properties. So let's talk about this first. So let me get this out of the way with insurance. So again, fire damaged properties, they can cause a lot of headaches for families and motivated sellers and sellers. I don't wish fire damage on anyone. I know people sometimes die from that, and it's completely devastating. So my heart goes out to anyone that gets affected from it, but there is a way for us to make money ethically and create win-win-win scenarios. So I'm going to show you that too. Again, people charge thousands of dollars for this type of course content. So I'm just giving it to you for free. So if a guru comes busting out my door trying to stop me, I know that. So this is literally info. People I know charge thousands of dollars, $2,000 course right here in this little span of time. But just letting you know that you got to treat this like this is extremely important information, because this is like guru stuff right here. This is people charge thousands of dollars for. So if you can like this video and subscribe, that'll really help give more of that course stuff for absolutely free. That's kind of what I do here. So insurance, guys, insurance companies, they already pay these sellers the full amount, basically market value, for that piece of land or burnt house that's just sitting there. So when you go see a burnt property and a family of 4, and that they own the house free and clear, but they had insurance on it, and it makes it seem like they lost this $200,000 house and they have to go pick up and everything and lose. Now, yes, these families do lose valuables. They lose stuff inside the property, but the actual value of the house, they don't lose that $200,000. They actually get an insurance check. So now they got the $200,000 just like them selling the property. So now they got a piece of land, and it's worth less than land because you got to completely tear down the building and dump it. So it looks like more of a liability than an asset. So the insurance companies do pay them. So have that in mind too. You're not offering people $5,000 for their piece of real estate and they lost $200,000 in value, and you're scraping off them needing money. Uh, Really, we're doing well because they get money, we get money, and it's a good win-win-win. So money usually is never the issue with these motivated sellers, just because they literally just got their insurance check, probably just check cleared when you get to talk to them. So it's pretty good. The biggest issue is the problem that they have on their hands, that piece of property, not the money. Money's never really an issue with these guys. Again, it's really the problem of just having a piece of real estate there. They don't want to get liens on them. They don't want to get credit attacked to them. They don't want to get any of that messed up. So insurance is pretty important to understand before we get into wholesaling fire damaged properties. Now, why do I love wholesaling fire damaged properties? So it's a huge opportunity. If you're in an extremely saturated market, wholesaling fire damaged properties, like a fire damaged property, most wholesalers in your crazy saturated market, maybe Atlanta, maybe you're in San Diego, maybe you're in like a crazy saturated market, it's a huge opportunity because most wholesalers, they take the regular route. They watch a YouTube video and no one really teaches it. I'm telling you, I don't know many YouTubers out here teaching like exactly this stuff. There's probably not one video teaching the amount of compact information I'm teaching about fire damage wholesaling. This is stuff that I don't ever talk about, and I decided just to spill my guts and kind of give this all out for free. So I'm letting you know, not a lot of people know much about fire damage properties. So in a saturated market, it's a huge opportunity. Again, fire damage properties for the average Joe investor, if you know how to do them correctly, you could make $100,000 in a wholesale fee. They are possible. Now, the average wholesale fee for a fire damage property is about $10,000 to $15,000 at most, usually in my market. But I've seen people with $800,000 like commercial units that got completely destroyed, and they just took a quick $5,000 wholesale contract, and people made over $100,000 with that. So personally, I've never made $100,000 in one wholesale fee for a fire damage property, but I've seen them. I've seen the HUDs. It's true. So they are possible. So that's another huge reason why I love fire damage properties. Now, my market's usually 200,000 plus is like the most. So I can't really get that kind of arbitrage. But if you're in a saturated market, usually the property value is really high, so you could do it too. It's a huge win-win opportunity. It should have said win-win-win, because think about this. In a wholesale deal, sometimes maybe you get a win, maybe the seller gets a win, and that's really it. But you get 3 wins here. You make a lot of money. The seller gets money that they would have never gotten at all. And then the builder gets a property for a deep discount that they usually have to buy on the MLS, that type of land value discount. So it's a win-win-win situation. It's amazing. Again, another reason why I love the fire damage properties here is because the sellers, I know you've probably gone to an appointment before, and a seller is just like, I'm just too attached to the property. I've lived here for 20 years. I don't know if I can ever part with it. There's no more attachment to a burnt piece of house. So there's not really much of an emotional attachment you have to deal with sellers here. And my favorite part is these sellers are extremely, extremely, extremely motivated. So it's amazing. If you're in a saturated market, you can find extremely motivated sellers that other people aren't going after. It's truly amazing. So how do you find fire damage properties? So there's many ways to find them. Again, this is just a quick way. I'm going to show you exactly how I find some of these other ones. But really, let me share them with you. So how to find fire damage properties. Again, you can use realtors. Realtors, if you are very well networked with realtors, it's a very good way to do it. Again, a lot of people contact their realtor with a fire damage property, so you could be a guy there. Always pay a realtor percentage of your fee. Get in contact with insurance agents, start networking with them. There's business networking events everywhere. It'd be a really, really good opportunity to find insurance agents, especially with fire damage. They're the ones that can give you the leads. Be a friend of the firefighter. Firefighters are usually out in the job fighting fires, and they can just give you addresses and you can make money. Again, not to knock firefighters, but they don't make the type of money successful wholesalers make. So if you can give them some extra money, I think they'd appreciate it. This is another one no one talks about, but talk to EMTs. EMTs go to fire damage properties also. So it's another win-win. If you can't get the firefighter to go to EMT, Facebook's a really important one. I'm going to show you real quick how I find them on Facebook. SEO, you can run Google ads on how to sell fire damage property. It's another pretty good one. And then the news. So your local TV sometimes shares it, and then sometimes on the newspaper it does. So let me get out of here really quick, and let me actually try to share this with you. So give me a second. Again, I'm spitting knowledge out here. I actually took pictures. I don't think I added them in just because I had appointments all day today because, I'm a real wholesaler. I'm not out here being a guru. But let me share with this really quickly right here. If you give me a second, just bear with me. Let me pop it in. So it's right here. So on Facebook, all you have to do on Facebook, this is how I'm going to share with you. You guys are going to kill me. Rick's going to kill me here. I'm going to share how I actually find my fire damage properties in my county here in St. Lucie, Port St. Lucie, Florida. Don't know if I should be giving this away. There's other wholesalers in Port St. Lucie watching this, but I'm going to share how I do it. So this is literally what I do. I literally go here. I go into Facebook, popping everything out right here. And let me share my screen. So I literally go to Facebook. I search St. Lucie County Fire Department, and this is what pops up on Facebook. You go to their Facebook page, and they do this. Ready? They say this. Fort Pierce at 5:58 a.m. Now, I'm filming this on the 17th. This was one from the 10th I just took because I didn't really want to do a recent fire. It's really, go after anyone here. But basically what it says here, look. Oh, my gosh. So at 5:58 a.m., several units responded to the 400 block of North 14th Street for a structured fire. Crews arrived to heavy smoke and flames. An unattended pot of the stove was to blame. Red Cross was called to assist 6 adults and 4 children. So if you can see specifically on this property, what you can do is you can sort of see what it looks like. Now, sometimes you have to actually go by North 14th Street in Fort Pierce and go drive by and see the fire damage property. There's usually won't be anyone living in there, but you can actually go by there and do it. Now, what I recommend, since this is a huge, I'm going to say this like a million times, this is an absolutely massive virtual wholesaling opportunity because you can actually go to every fire department in the whole country and do the same exact thing and call these sellers. So this is some gems right here. I'm just dropping nuggets. So now a lot of people are gonna ask me, Zach, from virtual wholesaling, how do I go physically to this property and make which one on North 14th Street is it? What you can do is you see the picture on this property right here, go to Google Maps, search North 14th Street, Fort Pierce. It'll pop up that street. Do a little virtual driving for dollars. You see there's a black, I'm assuming that's a PT Cruiser. I like PT. My grandma had a PT Cruiser back in the day, so I know what they look like. So look for like a black PT Cruiser. Looks like there's a little antenna there. Pretty easy to find that little property. So just virtual drive for dollars. You can find it there. Boom, put the address down, and then make a list maybe for the week throughout everywhere you want to go, and then cold call that list or do an SMS. I'll show you some cash buyers hack. And just go to smszach.com. Again, smszach.com to text these sellers, and then you go from there. So I got some other screenshots because I know you guys are going to be like, Zach, that only works for your market. It doesn't work for my personal market. Okay, so some markets actually won't work for this. So sometimes the fire department doesn't release that information. Sometimes they do. So that's why I say it's a really important virtual wholesaling opportunity. Most of them do. And if you get with firefighters, they'll share it too. So here's another one. I'll show you, for example, in Port St. Lucie. So let's see. I'm just going to share it with you guys. Bear with me. I'm digging the nuggets out of the gold. Alrighty. So right here, another one, for example, here, Port St. Lucie, 553, structure on the 110 block of Kickabrough Road, 4 adults displaced. See, that one's a little harder, but I didn't really get all the pictures that show the front of it. So that's a really good opportunity right there to find a fire damaged property. It looks like that one might have been completely destroyed, which is not good. So, and then again, I quickly, last night, that Monday Night Football game was absolutely terrible. Nick Foles looked bad. So I had a bunch of time to go look at this stuff for you guys last night. So, so this one right here, let me show you. So this one is in California. So this is a commercial real estate wholesaling opportunity. So this one is in an expensive area, Redlands, California. So that's why I chose this one, because you could get big profits if you get the right deal on this one. So this is the Redlands Fire Department. Look on Facebook. So it's the 2200 block of West Lagonia Avenue. So look at that, 600,000 square foot distribution warehouse. Again, there's little smaller ones you can do in there, but literally 2200 block of West Lagonia Avenue, Redlands, California. Boom, you see the picture there. Contact that seller and get going on that one. So sorry for the little tangent I went on there, how to find them on Facebook. It's so, oh my gosh, nobody in the market, I'm telling you, there's absolutely nobody doing this. So it's a really good opportunity for you. So let's remove that one. Let's get back into it. Alrighty. Oh, give me a second. Okay. So let that pop in. Okay, so fire damage properties. Let me just make sure this thing's working really quick. Again, let's see if it's popping in. Alrighty. So it looks like it's going, but realtors are really important. Insurance agents, firefighters are really important here. So let's see. All right, cool. And EMTs, Facebook, SEO, and the news. So Facebook, again, is the most important one here. So how can we profit from fire damage properties? So this is the one that everyone will tell you how cool fire damage properties are, but they're not going to share with you how you can actually profit for them, because there's some stuff you need to understand about fire damage properties before we really get into it. And this is stuff I've watched a lot of YouTube videos this past week trying to like teach this more to kind of help you, so I understand how other people are showing it. And honestly, they don't break down any numbers. It's absolutely terrible. Like, this is why wholesalers don't do this, because they don't understand it. It took me a little while to understand this too. It took me years to understand this. So I'm trying to share it all with you here. So this is how you can profit exactly from wholesaling a fire damage property. So arbitrage. Arbitrage is all we need to do with this. Again, wholesaling is an arbitrage game. So I'm going to give you just a tidbit of advice here. Don't be flipping, don't be buying fire damage properties and then building on it. And then actually, no, you buy it, you tear down the whole leveling structure, then you'll build something and then you'll put it on the market. It's a complete waste. It'll suck up 4 to 5, 6 months of your time. You got to deal with the city, building. It's a complete mess. You'd rather just take your profit now, take the $50,000 now of a wholesale fee versus making $80,000 and then wasting 4 months, risking it, put your own capital into it. I'm telling you, I've met so many people that try to do fire damage, house flipping themselves. Just wholesaling fire damage properties is way easier. Now, when it comes to flipping real estate, it's different. This is real estate, but you're kind of a builder. It's risk reward. You get a little more money, but it's extremely risky. And you can really scale fire damage properties if you really do it correctly. So I'm just going to be honest with you. I just wholesale. It's probably the best piece of advice I can give you. So, but now I'm going to get into it. So please, guys, I'm about to literally, this is the stuff. This is the breakdowns. I'm showing you breakdowns of deals, how to actually find the costs of fire damage properties, how to assess it, how to get back with sellers on a good price, and what you can expect to make profit-wise on this if you scale it up. So please, again, this I made this little slide so it reminds me of when we're getting to the actual like meat and potatoes of the stuff. So please like this video if you're on Facebook, share it, and if you're on YouTube, please smash that like button and subscribe. I want to make these videos every single week. I just want to keep helping you guys out because nobody helped me out when I started at 17 years old. So let's do that. Let's get into it. So what are the real costs of a fire damage property? So this one's going to be a tear down. When I say tear down, I mean the whole thing's engulfed in flames. The whole, like, the property's not salvageable. It's just, you got to get rid of it. So these are the true cost of it. So the number one cost here is of the tear down. The whole thing's burnt to a crisp. You're going to have to smash, you're going to smash the walls in and then clear the rubble out and clear it out. That is the number one cost you got to get rid of. Number two is you have to just really assess what the price of that lot of land for that fire damage property sale. So if I want that one in Fort Pierce, I have to figure out how much the thing will cost. Now, number one, a tear down usually will cost between $5,000 to $20,000, and then anything bigger, I mean, it's more and more money. For residential, about $5,000 to $20,000. It's about 7 to 10 grand where I'm at here in Florida. But that's kind of my market, Port St. Lucie, Treasure Coast area. So that's the cost there. I know my cost in my local market, not really the virtual ones too well, fire damage, just because I'm really more used to the local ones. So figure out what the price of that lot of land will cost, just retail. Let's say that lot of land, you magically disappear all the damage on it and it's just a piece of land now, maybe a quarter acre or half an acre. What would the cost of that land sell for on the market with a realtor? Figure that out. And then 3, figure out what is the price to build a new house or maybe a new commercial building in that area. Again, for me, in certain places, especially in Port St. Lucie, I would say about 200 a square foot. I would say pretty standard, and that's kind of a little more on the luxury side, if I have to be honest, maybe 150, but let's say about 200 just to be safe around the whole country. So those are the real costs to really for flipping a fire damage property, because that's kind of the end goal, is to flip it. Now we just want to sell it to the person flipping that fire damage property or building on it, but that's how they make money. If you understand how the cash buyer is going to make money, then you can go to them and kind of see how we reverse engineer and make the money ourselves. So the cost of fire damage property for a partial one, so complete teardowns are probably what we're mostly going to deal with. With the partial ones, they get a little more attachment to the property. Usually the cost of that is just replacing the walls, the kitchen, or maybe the bathroom, just completely renovating the bathroom and going from there. That's the cost of a partial fire damage property. Now, here is a fire damage deal breakdown. If me, let's say I find a fire damage property and I literally have to, let's say, for example, flip it myself. So let's say I'm the builder and this is my cost for a fire damage property. Again, nobody shares this info. That's why I want to do it. So it would cost me in Port St. Lucie, let's say standard quarter acre, I don't know, 1,500 square foot property. That's like standard concrete block. That's kind of how it is in Florida, Port St. Lucie area. So let's say it'll cost me about $8,000 to just kind of tear everything over, just clear it out, probably 5, but we're just going to be very conservative here with our numbers. Say it costs $8,000 for it. The market value for a piece of land is about $20,000. That's kind of what a quarter acre goes for around here, especially in the infill lot, but we won't get into land stuff. We'll get that a little later because I could talk for hours about real estate investing and wholesaling. I mean, I can go forever. So that's why I got so many videos, because I just love talking about this stuff. So I bet now more or less it'll cost around $200 a square foot where I'm at to build a new property. So about 1,500 square feet, do the mental math there, $300,000. So overall, it will cost me around $328,000 to build that house. That's the cost. So I was going to literally do it from scratch. That would be the cost. Now, if the arbitrage is to get discounts on all this stuff. So to build a regular property like that, if I had to buy that land and then build it throughout $300,000, then now there's an $8,000 tear down. So there's no point in me doing that, right? So if I was a builder and I bought something on the market, it would cost me $320,000. So we're spending $8,000 more than what the average builder will do. So that makes no sense. So let me kind of break this down more. So to sell that property on the market, again, to sell that $200 a square foot market as a builder, the average profit after everything, realtors, all that, is about 20% is the margin. So they'll sell for around $240 a square foot. Now, I don't want to go too fast for you guys. If there's any questions, please comment them, and at the end I'll talk about it. I don't want to go too fast with you guys, but again, average builder who builds on a piece of property, if they have to spend $200 a square foot, they want to make $240 in profit. 20% margins is pretty standard for the building industry. So that house that costs $200,000 to build, physically build, they will probably sell it for $360,000 in profit after all the minutia and stuff. So the average one, on that one, they'll make $32,000. Again, they'd make $40,000. They didn't have to do the tear down. So just know that the average builder probably will make $40,000 on this. So what's the profit incentive for that? So we'll keep going. So here is the profit opportunity. So if we literally go here and let's see here, trying to think. So here's the opportunity for them to flip it. Now, if we gave So me, the flipper, I literally gave $1,000 to the seller, usually less, but mostly people get fire damage properties for free. But let's say we gave $1,000 to the seller, spent $8,000 on the tear down, $200 a square foot for the building. That's $309,000. Whoa. So that's a lot cheaper. That's basically a little less than what it would cost to actually buy a piece of land, because again, for me, that's cheaper than if I was a commercial builder. It'd actually be cheaper at $309,000 because I don't have to pay anything about the land. I know what the land is. I know the land is an info lot, which it makes it more valuable than if someone buy a vacant piece of land. So completely different way to do it. Also, you got to think about this, is you're paying no realtors with me. So there's no 6% commissions. The closing costs are a lot less just because I'm not dealing with anything on the market. So it's a lot easier transaction. So if I sold it on the market, I would make about $51,000, which is pretty good. So that means, think about this for a second. So for me personally, I would be making $51,000 versus the industry standard, which is $40,000. So me building ourselves, I'll make more than the average builder, which is awesome. But what if I'm wholesaling it? So if we know the thing is about $51,000, I could probably make $51,000 would be the actual profit. Now $40,000, a builder's happy at 40 grand. What if I literally get a $2,000 wholesale check to me from the builder, and then they at that rate they'll make $49,000. They'll make $9,000 more than if they actually did it on the market and they didn't have to. It's actually probably 48? So they're making probably $9,000 to $10,000 because they don't have to pay realtors fees, more than if they actually dealt with a realtor. So they're making $10,000, actually making me money, making them money. So that's part of the win-win. So I can probably make 10 grand, maybe 4 grand. Really depends on the type of builder you have. The more commercial, usually the worse, just because they don't like dealing with individual guys. But you can make 5 to 10 grand easy. Now it's way cheaper than if they bought it on the MLS. So it's a win-win-win. That's how us wholesalers make money, because the motivated seller gets money that they would have never gotten. We get a good amount of money for just doing basically nothing. And then boom, the buyer makes money, the cash buyer. It's, oh my gosh, it's amazing, guys. So they buy properties cheap, we get money, and the motivated seller gets money, and they got the insurance money. The only person that really loses out here is the insurance company, really. But again, they make a lot of money too. So everyone's making money on this situation. It's amazing. Beautiful, right? So how to actually find cash buyers for fire damage property. So that's really the most important one here. So again, finding the buyers is, finding the fire damage properties, I kind of showed you, it's pretty easy. It's really finding the builders that are hard for a lot of people. Again, for me, finding the fire damage properties is a little harder now because I can find builders pretty easily. But what you should do is just contact builders in your area. Talk to contractors, network with contractors. They'll give you all the info for builders, and they love it. So just find GCs, which are called general contractors. They know builders, and they'll get you connected with their builder friends. And then you can just go on Facebook, look for builders, Google them, go to listrei.com, which is PropStream. I'll show you how to do that too to find them. So that's really how you find those buyers. So the last one here is I just want to show you how to actually find cash buyers for your fire damage properties. This is my little hack. Don't like talking about it too much, but I'll share it with you guys just to help you guys out a lot here. So let me see here. And again, guys, comment below your fire damage questions. I'd love to go answer them and help you out with them. So let me get out of here. And let me pop up PropStream. Again, PropStream is listrei.com. So let me actually go here. So this is how we do it. So I literally go here, stop the screen, share it. Then boom, alrighty. So go here to PropStream, and let me get out of here real quick. So let me clear this all out for you. So now we're in PropStream. Let's say we want to find a fire damage property in Fulton County. So Fulton County, which is basically Georgia. We go to Fulton County and we have a fire damage property and we want to find a builder. Now, how do we find builders? This is probably the laziest way, but it's one of the easiest ways to do it. So all we got to do here in PropStream is go to filter here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to property, actually no, quick list first. We're going to go to cash buyers. Okay, so pop up all the cash transactions in Fulton County. What we're going to do is go to property characteristics. We're going to go to residential and commercial, actually just keep it like that. So we can basically just click vacant land if you want to get lazy. Sometimes PropStream is good, sometimes they're not with that, but basically that's it. We can just go there, and then we got 10,000 here we can go after. Now you can also get more and more into it. You can go to the ownership info, see if they got a mortgage on that land, things like that. But overall, that's really what I do. Just go to vacant land there, and boom, we got 10,000 pieces of property with vacant land. For example, in this one, Dallas Street Lofts right here. It looks like they're building a piece of land over here, and that's who I would go after. So I would go search them really quick. See if you guys, is my screen sharing? No, okay. We share this part of the screen. So what I do is really share the screen, show you right here. So I just search at Dallas Street Lofts, and then I can just go here, Dallas Street Lofts, and then boom. So we got their address right here, and we go after them. So the cool part is you actually go to batch leads. So again, to go to batchleads.io/Zach. Also, if you go to smszach.com, you can do it too. So if you go to smszach.com, you can get a free trial to batch leads, get 500 free texts. So the cool part about that is you can actually get pull on PropStream, listrei.com, 5,000, let's say 10,000 cash buyers in Fulton County that are buying vacant land. Most of the time they're there to build. What you do is skip trace that list and then text it with smszach.com, and then boom, you can put this quick template. A quick template I can give you right now is, hey, how's it going? This is Zach. I have a piece of property. I would say, see, I'm trying to think here for vacant land because I know builders, so I don't really text too much, but for someone that didn't really have help with it, not the best. So I would just do, hey, I have a vacant lot that I need to get rid of. Are you a builder? Question mark. Boom. Easy as that. So I would text that thousands of times, and then you will find one, have a conversation, put them on your list, and then sell your fire damage properties. You can do this from your computer. You can do this from Fiji. Honestly, it's amazing. So it's a really, really important opportunity, guys. So let me go answer some questions really quick for you guys, and we'll see what we can do. So KS November, hey, Rick, this is Zach, but how's it going? How's it going? I have a damaged property right now. Awesome, awesome. That's great. It's great. A fire damage property. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Valerie, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the free content, talking about techniques and info 9% of wholesalers don't. I'm telling you, unfortunately, the more subscribers I get, the more people are going to see this. But again, it helps everyone. A rising tide lifts all boats. That's what I truly believe. So let's see here. I'm the GOAT. No, you guys are the GOAT for supporting me. I truly appreciate it. So Sergio asks, how do we talk to the seller who just had a fire in their home and potentially lost a loved one? Whew, okay, that's rough. Or how to handle a cold call. How do we handle a cold call for fire damage in general? Also, how long should we wait to call them? So fire damage, I would say once they get their insurance check, you can call them, I would say, because they're in a lot better mood when they get it. Unfortunately, okay, so when they lose a loved one, I can't even imagine that in a fire. It's really emotional. Again, you have to have empathy. If you're not empathetic, honestly, in general, if you're not a good person in wholesaling, you probably won't do well. So I'm assuming you're a good, wholesome person. So if you have empathy, like someone loses a loved one, you can't be going after like, hey, I want to buy a property, blah, blah, blah. You can't give them like cost analysis. Like it's so emotional. So I would say you contact them as soon as possible. Say, hey, I saw that, actually in a cold call, say, hey, John Smith, is that your property? Hey, I was actually on Facebook and I saw around that area. I actually buy properties around that area. I saw it was damaged. I mean, what's going on with the house? They'll tell you about it. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And then say, hey, I mean, did you get insurance check? What's the insurance situation like? Yeah, I got my insurance check for $150,000. And then they'll tell you, I don't want to do with the house. Say, it's okay if I meet you there and we can kind of see, like, I think I can get you money for this. Like, what do you mean I get money for it? It's a lot like that. I can go with the strategy. You actually go to tax sales and things like that. You can go after them. Usually when you got money, with just sale. I don't want to talk about it right now. That's something for a little later, but it's kind of the same exact one like this. Just basically from there. So let's see here. But yeah, that's how I would cold call them. As soon as possible, just so you have your foot in the door with them, and then you can do follow-ups when they're more comfortable about talking about it. But usually when they get their insurance check, they're pretty good to go. So KS November, great question, Sergio. I had the same exact one. I hope I answered that question. Let me know if that answered it for you. Can you send a link with photos via SMS? Yes, you can, but it seems spammy, and you probably won't get away with doing thousands at a time with it, I would say. The phone companies are pretty good at screening them. How can we find a trustee property? In PropStream, you can do it through the filters there. And then Ray says, bought a lot of fire damage. Good advice to wholesale. Thank you so much, Ray. I really appreciate it. Again, you flip some fire damage properties, complete mess. Complete mess. So wholesaling is a great way to do it. So that's it, guys. Let's see. How long does it take to get an insurance check on average? Again, it really depends. So if someone lost a loved one, they might not want the money from their insurance check. Honestly, that would be an afterthought, because if you lose a loved one, the insurance check doesn't matter. It's the loved one. So they probably won't. They'd probably be out of it. They don't really care about it until the insurance company tries to get them until they need the money. So it's really dependent. That's all I can say. It's a terrible answer, but that's the best one I can give. It really depends on when they're ready to go. If hopefully they're all safe. Usually they want the insurance check as soon as possible to go get another house, right? JP, we're actually signing off, but I really appreciate you hopping on here on the live. But you can watch the replay on the Flip with Rick YouTube. It's all there. So that's it, guys. So I really appreciate you guys coming on here for the live and actually watching this. I like to go live just to talk and see if there's any questions I can do live, kind of chatting, because it's hard to do in the afterthought. But that's it, guys. Fire damage properties, please go after them. They're such great opportunities for wholesaling real estate. I can't say it enough. If you're not going to do them, then I'm going to do them. It's a great virtual wholesaling opportunity. So I really appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Podcast is tomorrow. See ya.